Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we'll be discussing this question. That's a medium level problem, and the question is find the winner of the circular game. Let's understand the problem statement and let's see how it can be done. So the problem statement says that there are n friends that are playing a game. The friends are sitting in a circle and are numbered from 1 to n in clockwise order. More formally, moving clockwise from the ith friend brings you to I plus 1th friend for I ranging between 1 and n, and moving clockwise from nth friend brings you to the first friend. The rules of the games are as follows. So start at the first friend and count the next k friends in clockwise direction including the friend you started at. The counting wraps around and the circle and may count some friends more than once. The last friend you counted leaves the circle and loses the game. If there are still more than one friend in a circle, go back to step 2 starting from the friend immediately clockwise of the friend who just lost and repeat. Else the last friend in the circle wins the game. Okay, so basically it says there are n number of people that are sitting in a circle. Now are so basically how it's moving is in the clockwise direction. Okay, so by clockwise direction I mean, so if my I is at 1th position, my first position, if my ith is at first position, if I move clockwise, my it will reach to the I plus 1th location, that is 2. Okay, and if my I is at 5, that is the n, it will move to my first position. Okay, so this is what clockwise in this question means. Okay, now what is the problem? Now the game says you'll always start at the first person. Okay, and then you have to count k people. Okay, so starting from the first person you need to count k people, and then that kth person leaves the game. Okay, that kth person leaves the game, and we have to again do continue doing this until unless we are left with just one person in the game who's going to be the winner. Okay, now in this scenario, if k is 2, so and also there's one more thing to note. So basically once the person leaves the game, the person that is sitting immediately clockwise of that friend who just left, from there again the counting will start. Okay, so let's just say that we have 5 people. Okay, and let's say that we are starting from here, from the first person, and my k is 2. Okay, so we need to keep counting 2 people until unless all of them are removed and only one is present at the last, who will be the winner. So counting k people, first person that leaves the game would be 1 and then 2. This person will, counting from here, right? So 1 and then 2. So this person will leave the game, right? So now once this person leaves the game, there are 4 people left. Now you saw, right, that the next person that is sitting immediately clockwise to that person, from there the counting will start. So the counting will again start from this position. Okay, so now the counting starts again, and what we need to do, k is 2, right? So 1 and 2, this person now leaves the game, right? So this person will now leave the game, right? So now there are only 3 people left. Okay, so now what to do? Now we'll start the counting again from fifth, right? So when we are starting from fifth, we know that if we are moving in the clockwise direction, if the ith position, if the I is at n, so we need to consider the first position. Okay, so counting again from here, 1 and 2, this person will now leave the game, right? So if we consider this person as gone, okay, sorry guys, so if we consider this person as gone, now only 2 people are left in the game. Now because this one was gone, the counting will again start from 3, right? And then this 5 will be eliminated. Once this 5 is eliminated, now only 3 is left, and since only one person is left in the game, this person is winner. So we need to return 3. So what can we do in this scenario? We can just form a recursive solution. So guys, you can see that this is a list, right? Result, I mean starting from 1 to n, right? N being 5 here. So this is a zero based indexing list, right? Obviously, because it always start from 0 in Python. So if this is a zero based index list, we need to go and remove, for example, if k is 2, the first thing that we can, first element that we need to remove will be at the 1th position, right, the first position. So if my k is 2, from counting from the first 1 and 2, this will be removed. So now we need to do that for all of the elements, right? We need to go and calculate an index in such a manner that my index will always lie from always lie between 1 and n. Okay, now whenever n is exceeded, the index is exceeding the n, that is the fifth in this scenario, what we are going to do is we are going to come back in this list again, right? So can we not use modulo? Because always whenever we'll perform modulo, even if the sum will exceed the exceed the n, will always end up with something that is between the 1 and the length of the array, right? So let's say that for calculating index, we come up with this I plus k modulo length of the array. Okay, I think this will guarantee us with an answer. Okay, we can check and do a dry run, but before that, what we need to do, because this is an zero based index, right, zero based indexing is there, so we can say that initially when we are calling our function, we need to give k as 1. Why? We'll see it here. So let's do a dry run, guys. So let's say that my current pointer is at the first location, 0th location. Okay, so I is equal to I being 0, 0 plus 1 modulo length of a. Length of a is 5 right now, so 5. So 1 modulo 5 is 1, which is why we'd remove this element. Okay, now what does our list become? Our list becomes 1, 3, 4 and 5, indexing being as 0, 1, 2, 3, right? This element has been removed, right? So now the length of the list becomes 4. Okay, now let's try to do it further. For the next index, I is equal to, now currently my I was 1, right? So 1 plus k, I plus k, right? I plus k modulo length of array. So I plus 1 modulo length of a, that is 4. So 2 modulo 4 would be 2, right? So what can we do? We can remove this fourth element, element that is 4, that is at the second location, second index. Okay, so once we do that, we are left with 3 elements, 0, 1, 2, 1, 3, 5. Okay, and now again the same thing, index being 2, let's I plus k modulo 2. Now the length of the array is 3 and I is initially 2, right? So I plus k modulo length of the array, right? So 2 plus 1 modulo 3, that is 3 modulo 3, that is 0. So now we remove the element that is at the 0th location. Okay, we come up with this 3 and 5, 0 and 1 at the 0th position and the 1th position. Length of array 2, currently my index 0, right? So I is equal to 0 plus 1 mod 2, that is 1 mod 2, that is 1. So we remove the element that is at the 1th location, 1th position. So we are left with this. So is it our answer? Yes, this is our answer. So we need to return whatever is present in the list now, because only single element will be present in this list now. So now whatever is left in the list, only one single element, so now we're going to return that. Okay, so let's see how we can code this down. So let's go and code this. So we need to have an array, right? So we need to populate an array. So it needs to go from 1 to n, right? So we have this. Now we need to have a recursive function. Let's just say in the index and k as parameters we have it. So in the parameters we have index and k. Now whenever my length of the array is 1, what do I need to do? I need to return, right? Because no more further recursion needs to be done on that. Otherwise, what needs to be done? We need to calculate the index and remove it, right? So we'll do that. Index plus k modulo length of array, right? Okay, now we need to remove this element that is present at this index. So we removed it, and then we again called the recursive function, right? So this will guarantee us with the answer. So we need to call this recursive function with starting from 0 index, and because it's a 0 based index we need to call for k minus 1. Once this is done, we'll be left with an array with one single element, so we need to return array of 0. Let's try to run this. Accepted and submitted. So yeah, there you go guys. So this is the solution for the problem find the winner of the circular game. Next